Latest technology, the CD-ROM computer. This is a multimedia system. Internet is a massive computer, and one that's becoming really big now.
This is a machine that a lot of people are going to be able to afford. That's a very, very useful machine.
You see robots that can learn to walk.
And welcome back to part 3 of our 3-part series on talent development and workforce planning. And I'm here again with Felicia Obiora.
Yeah.
Hi, Felicia.
Thank you so much again for having me for part 3 series. So excited for that.
Felicia is the faculty business developer, global business and digital arts, cooperative and experiential education at University of Waterloo. And today we are going to cover the last in our 3-part series, hiring future-ready talent and next steps. And so the first part of our discussion was all about just familiarizing with why people should be looking into interns and into co-op, and mostly because of the skills gap and the fact that universities like University of Waterloo are planning for that skills gap. And they are doing a lot of research internally on what the skills gaps look like, and also doing some anticipatory work to understand what could be required in the future given the rapid development of our sector. Then we spoke a little bit about the practical side of hiring and how to get started, and some of the financial tools that are available to organizations that are looking into this type of programming. And this last part is just to talk a little bit about, again, employers have choices to make. They are looking at a talent pool that exists outside of the post-secondary sector, and they have pools of candidates that are available that are at university or college level. And when they are in their sort of planning stages, they're looking at, I have a need and I need to fill that need. And it's almost like plugging a hole. I have to get that person into the organization, and I hope to keep them in the organization for as long as possible because I need stability in my workforce. So when you look at the cost and benefit towards internships and co-op students, I just really wanted to get a little bit deeper into that with you, Felicia, if that's okay, and get a better understanding of why should organizations be turning to the programs that you offer versus hiring from outside.
Yes, that's a great question, Sonia. Thank you. So having employees with the right skills, attitudes, and capacity, it presents one of the greatest challenges for many organizations. And that's a fact because according to PwC's Global CEO Survey, they realized that 55% of CEOs believe a skills gap is preventing effective innovation and creating higher people's costs. And to address this growing skills gap and attract and retain the brightest and the best, the CEOs report using a 2-pronged approach, and that is significant retraining and reskilling of their current workforce and establishing a strong pipeline direct from education. And it's a no-brainer that when you bring in co-op students, you create a direct and effective pipeline for future talent to your organization. And that's what a lot of employers from across the world is doing right now. They're tapping into over 25,000 co-op students every year. I would also add that co-op students, they integrate a bottom-up innovation into organizations. And that's a proven business practice that Google has become very well known for. And that contributes to their success as it brings in a fresh perspective to the organization to remain competitive, especially in this job landscape right now in the market. So hiring next generation talent is all about future-proofing your organization. And students are the emerging workforce that are digitally savvy, they're innovative, they're hungry, and they want to build the table with you at the end of the day. So when you work with Waterloo Co-op, you get access to a renowned co-op program that inspires teaching, and also you get the innovative research, which we always work on. So we're pretty known for service excellence every step of the way in recruiting and hiring journey.
And you mentioned some statistics about the post-program placement. Can you just shed light on that again? Like how many of the students, when they are placed, how many, I guess, not individually, but in general, find themselves employed at the end of the program?
So we have currently right now a 90 recruitment rate for employment, and that is really high. We pride ourselves in that figure because it takes a lot of work. It will take a lot of back end from our side as well, from the faculty side, from the organization, and also the students who are involved. So we have this incredible cycle of making sure the learning and also the accelerated programs in the work skills, it integrates in a way whereby it fosters collaboration and innovation that creates that environment where employers, if they keep on taking in the talent and they want to also retain it at the end of the day, it's one thing to recruit talent, but also retain them, right? And we've been getting a high success rate for our students, which is at 97%. And we're really proud for that figure because it really shows at the end of the day what our work is all about and how the skills gap we're trying to fit in the economy right now. So.
Yeah, and it really shows some payoff for the organizations, obviously, for
Yeah.
spending the time with those students, because we talked in the last part about the fact that there is some investment involved in training up the students. So when they come in as interns, if they spend, and I'm not sure if you mentioned this, but how often does it occur? Is it an anomaly when a student goes in for one internship and then next year goes to the same organization? Does that happen quite frequently?
Oh yeah, it's also something that is now recently common and has been made known. A lot of employers, they want to recruit and retain the same talent year in, year out, and it shows the employee, which is the core talent excellence, and really their talent and their skill sets shows they really want to get a continued collaboration and relationship with the students in that regard. We've had companies who do want that talent as well. So it's kind of competitive, and it depends on the students and where they feel they want to best grow in maybe the same company year in, year out till they graduate, or switch things up and kind of see from another organization's perspective what they can gain as well as how they can contribute the skills to the workforce. So yeah, it's a common trait where we've seen in our organization. Yeah.
Well, how exciting, and what an honor it would be to be a student that is asked back at an organization for year two. So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Felicia, you have me convinced, and I know that there's a lot of work being done right now in our industry towards better understanding what the workforce is needing. And this conversation and the work that you're doing certainly is helpful for our sector. And I look forward to hearing a little bit more about your program in the coming months. I know we're going to keep in touch. And as we start delving more into the currency of talent, which is our programming for this particular subject and at the IAB, I'm going to be calling on you to ask how you're doing, how the program's doing, and how our industry can better work with post-secondary educators like yourself. So thanks for this and all your information.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sonia. Thank you everyone for listening. And if you do have questions, feel free to reach out to Sonia or me, and we will get right to it and help you the best way we can, okay?